Hello, welcome to Rebel Base, IGN's weekly Star Wars. Pack it in! So this week we're speaking to the voice of Darth Maul himself, Peter Serafinowicz.
It's like someone was saying to me, "Are you going to be in the new Star Wars films?"
Yes.
And I'd love to be.
Yeah.
However, I'm just excited that they're making
they're
new
coming.
Star Wars films,
yeah,
and they
yeah.
seem like they're going to be great.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I love that teaser trailer.
Racing on it, it's really, really good.
I mean, I've just got goosebumps.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just trying to keep calm about it and not get too excited.
Yeah.
Because I'm like you, it's just, I cannot wait for it.
But then, I mean, you were in Phantom Menace, and that is one that isn't, so celebrated as much. So
Yeah,
but then you are really good in it. And then the character
Well,
Darth
no,
Maul
it's
is...
not,
No, but the character of Darth Maul is a character that people say that was a really, really good part of Phantom Menace, I think.
Well, I guess. I mean, it's mainly down to Ray Park.
He's amazing,
And you know, my involvement was so. I mean, it's so lucky. It's like I won a competition, really. You know?
How did it come about?
I auditioned for it.
Wow,
I
okay.
auditioned, and that was it. I just auditioned. And they thought Ray Park's voice wasn't right for the part, and then I just auditioned.
He's got quite a strong Cockney accent, isn't he?
Yeah, and he's got quite a soft voice as well. For whatever reason, I don't know. And so, you know, and I did that, and it was like I did like we recorded it like probably over like 3 days, and recorded with George Lucas. You know?
In the room with you?
Not only in the room, he sits in the booth with you. So like usually, you know,
Just like this close to
no, seriously, he was like sitting like there, right? And that has never happened before or since, you know. And it's weird. It's like if you're recording a voiceover, you know, everyone knows, you've seen it. It's like the actors are in the little booth, and everybody else is behind the glass listening to it on the speakers. But George was just, I don't even think was listening to it on the headphones. I thought, well, that's cool, you know. I mean, I was so nervous, and because, you know, I mean, it's George Lucas.
Of course,
George Lucas, yeah.
And, you know, look, I mean, I don't want to rubbish that film, and you know, of course, it's just, you know, whatever, that's all been said, but like, you know, I think a thing about it is like, what is just even, right? His world, the world he's created, and the characters that he populates it with, and the names he gives things, that's fucking amazing. Anyway, you know, that's like, you know, even in the Phantom Menace, all the characters have just got, and you notice it as well when you're playing like the Lego game, where you see the toys or whatever, and you think, oh, I remember that like character that had like one line. And he's got a really cool name, and you think, wow, George Lucas is amazing at thinking of names. You know, I mean, just think of all the names that he has made up that are so part of our like folklore. You know.
It's time for another edition of Force Feedback then, and it's actually what people have started calling it as well, because James Trawley writes in and says, hey
but
guys...
if you call it something, people will then call it that. It doesn't mean that thing is...
Who knows what that means. Hey guys, love the show, little bit of Force feedback for you. I just watched the bit where you talk about Rey being Han and Leia's daughter. So this was last week we were talking about what is the evidence that Rey is actually Han Solo's daughter. This would be so cool, and that would go what you said before about her being the main Jedi character, and it leads her to Finn in the desert of Jakku, where he is realizing he's getting Force powers with the whole awakening thing, and she could help train him in his new powers. Then he also says, although this is starting to sound a little bit like the plot of Star Wars Rebels with Kanan and Ezra, and that is pretty much that as well. But he also goes on then to say, P.S. do you need to get matching Rebel tattoos at Celebration next year?
So they're focusing mainly on the feedback section.
Not the tattoo bit that we're definitely getting.
What would we get?
Imagine getting matching tattoos.
You've got no space left.
I've got loads of space there.
There. Palm of my hands.
Yeah,
my
palm of
tongue.
my hands.
What would we get?
Don't know. Something maybe like the Empire of the Hand logo on the back of our necks. That's good.
Anyway, Connor Smith has written in. What do you guys think of the idea of Darth Vader appearing in an anthology film? I haven't heard that idea discussed as a topic on your show, but with Rogue One being centered around the idea of stealing the Death Star plans, it really makes sense to me. As a side note, I like the idea of Finn being the son of Lando, which we said last week,
Yeah.
as it gives a reason to why he would have Luke's lightsaber. That's because Lando was the head of Cloud City and Luke lost his lightsaber there, so it does somewhat seem reasonable. So let's focus on what Connor said about
Yeah.
Darth Vader appearing in an anthology movie. And we kind of addressed this before, like,
Yeah.
if these anthology movies, at least the first one we know is filling in gaps
Yeah.
in the old movies, like in the timeline, we're going to encounter this situation where they might have to recast people, or we might get familiar characters
Yeah.
in a similar time period than we've seen before. And it's easy with people like Boba because
Yeah.
you use the outfit. Kind of easier with Vader as
Really
well,
easy,
because
yeah.
you can still get James Earl Jones to do the voice,
Yeah.
and you can use the costume. I think he might turn up.
He definitely will turn up.
He definitely will.
Definitely confirmed. But like, if you're doing, like as he says, like if you're doing something centered around stealing the Death Star plans, it's got to be in that, surely.
Yeah, because he's going to be like in his back pocket. He's basically Andy Garcia in Ocean's 11 at the end.
Yeah.
He's just going,
Yeah.
should have got with Julia Roberts.
Yeah.
Something like that.
I think it'll definitely happen. I'm in.
Wow, you've gone all in there.
And final bit of force feedback thing comes from David Hall of Solid Brick Studios, who writes in and says, "Big fan of you guys. I recently made a full-on recreation of the second episode 7 trailer into Lego form and would love to hear your opinion on it. It is so good."
Yeah, I'm quite flattered he's a big fan of us because
Yeah.
we've done nothing that good.
Yeah, I know. And I'd already seen this before he sent it in
Yeah,
as
it's
well.
so good.
Because it's just so good and it's become really, really popular. So we'll just play a little bit of that for you now.
Chewie, we're home.
And if you have anything you want to send in to us, then make sure you do it rebelbase@ign.com. So Star Wars then has inspired an entire world of merchandise. There's a Star Wars toaster now, which looks pretty good. But we fell into a little bit of an Etsy hole this week by looking
Speak
at
for yourself, mate.
by looking at some of the weirdest stuff. And it all started with this lightsaber cheese knife and wine stoppers here that we found on the internet. I think a couple of sites were doing stories on them because they're just like, it's a lot of really homemade stuff. If you know what Etsy is, it's sort of like a craft website that people can set up their own shops and sell the different stuff. And there's a lot of Star Wars stuff on there. So we've been sifting through it, sifting through the most weird stuff that we found, starting with the cheese knife and wine stoppers, which are actually quite expensive, but they are nothing compared to the 3D printed melted Darth Vader helmet, which is $4.99, which boasts, once you have one, you'll never be without it. And it's basically...
Does that not apply to anything you purchase?
But it's so weird. It's like a little small version of the melted Darth Vader helmet from the Force Awakens trailer. $4.99.
On the topic of melted Darth Vader helmets,
Yeah.
as we often are, this week earlier on, I'll find it so you can drop it in now,
Yeah.
is the image of the original one they burnt in Return of the Jedi.
Right, okay.
And I think it was made probably out of fiberglass or something.
Right.
And because the fiberglass is like, through the heat, it's like transformed into hair.
What?
So it's like this old, hairy Darth Vader helmet
I
face.
don't want that. I don't want that in my
It
life.
almost made me feel a little bit sick.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Anyway, moving on to something a little bit more light-hearted and savoury. Not savoury, the crayons. R2-D2 crayons.
Yay!
These are, for the princely sum of £2.67, you
Yeah.
can get an 8-pack of cute and colourful crayons. Quote, will make a wonderful party favour or a great gift for a budding artist.
Now this shop as well is actually quite cool, and they do like Lego figures, they do like other different things, but I just love all these little R2D2 things. And £2.67 as well. That's nothing.
Yeah, they also do crayons in the shape of bandages. Don't know why you'd want... And a Mini-Man. Mini-Man looks a lot like a Lego minifig, but
really?
legally distinct.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's all about the R2-D2 mini crayons.
Yeah. Next up, this is my favourite things: needle felted Ewoks. So there's this one, but there's also Made for You by Jackie, which is a shop on there, and she makes a lot of cool stuff. But there's a couple of them that I just can't stop looking at. Look at the little baby Ewok one.
What is... Are they real human teeth?
So that one behind us, that is made by West, and that's £14.50. It's needle felted Ewok Star Wars series,
And it has two of Jackie's baby's teeth. She puts something over herself into
no,
everything
that's
she
made
makes.
by West, not made by Jackie. If you wanted to go a little bit more upmarket, you go to Made for You by Jackie, and these ones $37.99 and $55.99 for the baby one. So
I think they're cute.
Are they cute? They are cute, but in a terrifying way. I wouldn't put that in my kid's bedroom, would you?
I don't know. My mum used to collect clowns when I was a child, so
Serious?
I grew up in a house full of clowns. So
That's terrifying.
haven't killed
Almost-
anyone. Haven't killed anyone yet.
Not quite as terrifying as that then. What have you got? What's next?
Next is Star Wars 5-piece wooden utensil set for £12.50.
That's pretty good.
£12.50. So let me look. So in this set you get 4 wooden spoons and a fish slice.
Star Wars fish slicer.
Mainly spoons.
Yeah.
As each set is hand burnt and made to order, please be understanding of any slight imperfections or differences from the picture designs.
So basically they're all one of a kind.
Yeah.
Because
They're really cool. So they've got
They're all one of a kind because she's not taking her time with them. She's bashing them out. So they could all have just little imperfections
It's
all over them.
£12.50. I think they're pretty good if you want a set of wooden
£12.50,
spoons.
yeah.
And also because it's burnt in, it's not going to make them unsanitary. And also does ones of Breaking Bad.
Nice. Next up, I've got, I just found this really odd. Is a vinyl record clock of Star Wars. So it's pretty good because it's got like Darth Vader and Luke sort of battling it out. But I just find the entire thing really strange. Like, so they say, we made our clocks from old used vinyl records. Thanks to our passion to music, we give a new life for used and forgotten vinyl records. We make them functional, beautiful, and great looking part of your interior. Still, music fans should not be afraid. We create our clocks from records that are no longer playable. That's why albums may have some scratches. Now, it's really well made, but I just find it really odd.
Why do you find it odd? Well,
Because-
I think it's quite cool that they're cut out because a lot of people make vinyl clocks is like a thing you always find down like car boots,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
the record.
Yeah.
I think it's quite good. They've gone to the effort to like make it into an actual piece.
Yeah, but I just, why is there a record though? I don't get it. Like, that's the thing that bothers me. Is they've
You're
gone-
overthinking
Yeah,
it.
I really am.
But you want that record to be something Star Wars related, don't you?
I don't know.
Do you need it to be more conceptually tight?
Yeah, it does. It doesn't work for me for some reason because I think it's good, but why is it a record? Why is that good? I don't know, I'm struggling with it.
You're overthinking it, mate.
I am, yeah.
Just don't argue it, accept.
What have you got?
This one I think you'll like. I actually really like this. Chewbacca bandolier guitar strap.
Yeah.
So you can rock out like Chewie.
That's pretty good.
So the iconic Chewie bandolier is, they just built that onto a guitar strap.
Yeah.
Not much more to say about that one, but I think it is actually pretty cool.
How much is that? 35 quid.
That is 35
If you're in a
English
band,
pounds.
if you're in a nerd band, imagine that, like, rocking
If
out
you
with
play in a
that.
cantina.
Next. I've got Star Wars Lego buttonhole, £25.32. And this is like, even though it's weird, it's still very cool. And it's got a really nice little story with it as well, because it says, I handmade these for my own wedding and got so many lovely comments about them, I decided to set up shop.
Oh.
The pictures show Yoda/Darth Vader/ Obi-Wan, but I can make any character that you would like, as long as it's available. And that's from A Bride Less Ordinary. She does a lot of like wedding stuff. And it's really cool. It's weird, but very cool.
That's the thing, like for weddings, those little like favours that you have to put on everyone's table.
Yeah.
That is a good idea.
Well, like weddings as well, like, are boring. Weddings are really boring. So if you can spruce up your wedding with some Star Wars, that's what I would do. Next.
Yeah. Yeah, you tell that to your fiance. Good. So Star Wars toilet target, segueing from weddings into
So good.
urinal functional
This
decoration.
is one of my favourite things.
Star Wars toilet targets cost £3.83. Do you have a potty training boy in your house? Or girl? How about a
What?
potty...
No, not a girl. How would you... That's not... You're
I
not,
wouldn't know about those sort of things, Gav, so...
You're not training her right if you're getting her to go onto those.
Pervert. Do you have a potty training boy in your house? How about a potty trained boy that has a hard time aiming?
Yeah.
Maybe you have a man in your house that could use a refresher course, and you are tired of cleaning that toilet before you use it. These targets are for you. Stay on target.
Nice. Stay on target. I really like these. They're so silly. £3.83. And this is
Don't put them up there.
Why? Well, because you got to aim there. Where are you aiming?
Into the toilet.
Yeah, that is in the toilet though. You're aiming at the
Quite
top.
high up there.
But would you be able to aim down like that? Oh no, you would, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, they put them a bit high. You're right. Anyway, moving on. Star Wars light switch decal, £2.67. It's a bit odd. It says light side, dark side, choose wisely. And you can just stick them over the top of your things. I don't know. I kind of like them. Stand size light switch Star Wars decal. Bring back any boring light switch with this decal.
But when it's dark, you can't read it.
No, that's right.
Okay, so next up is X-Wing ring. This is really
amazing.
This is amazing. This is spruce up your wedding.
Yeah.
So it is a quite a this is made. It's a gold, silver, platinum, and palladium ring made to order, and it's a very ornate wedding ring in the shape of an X-Wing.
They do R2D2 ones as well. They're so beautiful. But how much are they? How much is that X-Wing one?
So that one is £663.
How much?
Which, you know, if you were buying a wedding ring, that's not
How much
beyond
are
the
wedding rings?
as much as you want to spend.
Is
Depends
it?
how much you love the person.
That's not true. Depends.
Of course, it's not true.
All right. Well, I'm single, so I wouldn't know, mate. Cheers. Bring it out.
Pathetic.
And next then is the Star Wars garter. So this is another sort of wedding thing.
Why have you picked on wedding stuff?
I don't know. I really don't know. It was an accident.
You're trying to tell me something?
There's just lots on there. I just don't want to be alone anymore, Daniel.
I don't think an X-Wing ring is going to help.
Yeah, I turned up to my first date with a Star Wars Lego garter. Oh yeah, I got you this present. I hope that's all right.
Don't worry, I got our party favours sorted.
So this is from Ooh La La Boudoir, and so if it's quite, I think it's quite good. Perfect for any bride with a Star Wars theme to their wedding or a secret love for the best sci-fi films ever. The garter is made from slender ivory vintage style lace with an overlay of blue satin ribbon. This one shows Leia and Chewbacca, but I can do pretty much any character you wish. And that's £35.99. What's the last one you got?
So it is a Star Wars China tea plate
I love
by
these. Absolutely love
Lavinius
these. Yeah.
Tea Party. So what it is, it's a retro vintage plate with brown, red and black pattern, which I've added an R2D2 to. I do like how chintzy they are mixed
Yeah.
with Star Wars imagery.
Yeah,
it's good.
definitely. It's really good because I think they're like old style sort of like vintage plates with just like little sort of
It's a
Star Wars
perfect
logos on
wedding
it, yeah.
gift.
Why? It's not wedding. That's not wedding.
Could be.
Well, I'm not getting married anytime soon. You might be, but I'm not, am I? So, yeah. Well, those are the weirdest things that we've found on Etsy to do with Star Wars. What have you found? Let us know. rebelbase@ign.com.